story that we've been tracking since yesterday, that has come by the way of Ayushman Bharat and the irregularities that were reported in Ayushman Bharat by the way of that CAG report. Let's quickly run our viewers through what these irregularities are. But I think what stood out for you and me both were lakhs of people registered under same number, and that number happens to be 10 times 9.
Yeah, I think it's a travesty of numbers if you ask me, Shweta. So, of course, the headline there is that 7.5 lakh beneficiary accounts are linked to one single mobile number, and that is 99999999999. But that's not all. You also have about 1285 beneficiaries who have registered their Aadhaar number as 0000. 00000000.
I lost count of the number of zeros.
What are we supposed to make of
out.
this? Yeah. Now add to that, I mean, the travesty of numbers doesn't end there. You've got almost 43,000 odd households which are saying that their family size is between 11 and 50. Up to 50 members in a single family availing of the Ayushman Bharat scheme, which gives them 5 lakh rupees of health insurance coverage. But out of those, there are 12 households, not out of those, in fact, in addition to those, there are 12 households which say that their family sizes are between 100 to 200 members. I mean, this is beyond travesty. I think
small village, perhaps.
Yeah, so I think what we are really looking at here is maybe corruption might be too strong a word right now, but definitely lapses, irregularities, glitches in the system, or bypassing of the system by using these crooked means of entering any random mobile number. And let's look at the other data also that in fact we showed our audiences yesterday, but let's run through that as well, because there have been instances where you've got about 88,000 odd people who have died during availing the Ayushman Bharat for treatment. Availing that insurance scheme for treatment, they actually happen to die during that treatment, but the same 88,000, in fact, add more number of it to it. So those same 88,000 people have availed insurance 2,12,000 odd times after they have died during their treatment. And that, of course, becomes a very, very scathing sort of audit by the CAG. And this audit, incidentally, was done between 2018 and 2021. So this data is actually old. It's coming out 2 years later. And God alone knows how many more such cases we would have added in the last 2 years. So it was obviously, one of the most revered, most talked about insurance schemes anywhere in the world. The idea of the insurance scheme of Ayushman Bharat, the Prime Minister Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, PMJAY as it was referred to. The idea was to actually be able to provide insurance of up to 5 lakh rupees per family, targeted towards the below poverty line segment of society. And there has been gross misuse, misappropriation, and just very, very unfair usage of the taxpayers' money, which is funding such insurance schemes. And look at the means by which people have availed of this insurance scheme, when in certain cases the patients have died in treatment, and yet those beneficiary accounts continue to avail the 5 lakh rupee insurance cover even years after a patient has availed of that cover and died. So the same beneficiary accounts, the same numbers linked to bogus mobile numbers, bogus Aadhaar numbers are continuing to be misused.
Continue to be misused to the point that it is a government scheme that is bleeding at the moment, misappropriation of funds, as I would like to call it. I don't know if you'd like to correct me there, but the money is going somewhere. We don't know where, we don't know to whom.
Absolutely.
Because that has not been found out just as yet. But corruption there, if it's at state level, whether it's at the center level, all of that needs to be clarified further. But I think it's an important story that deserves some more scrutiny. The CAG report is out, it's tabled in the parliament, but we don't know what happens from here on.
I'm sure there is going to be an investigation from here on. There should definitely be an investigation, and perhaps 2 days after this report was tabled in parliament, perhaps today when the Prime Minister speaks in the lower house, he should take some accountability of this report and stand up to say at least that yes, if nothing else, at least an inquiry, an unbiased, objective inquiry will be made not just into this scheme, but into every scheme that has been launched by the government over the last 9 years. And we are talking about an election year. It is imperative for the government to take accountability for such lapses, and there has to be very squarely pointed accountability, whether it rests at the technology end, whether it rests with state governments, or whether it rests with the centre. But the fact that this is a Prime Minister's scheme, it is a Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, I think the Prime Minister in Parliament should stand up and take accountability for at least investigating and getting bodies to investigate this very objectively.
No, we don't know whether that's going to happen, but remember, this is a scheme that was launched by the Prime Minister in 2018. The data pertains to time period between 2018 to 21. We don't know about data from 20 to 23 just as yet. As many as 7.5 lakh beneficiaries seem to be registered under a same number that is 10 times 9. All of this being pointed out by CAG, which is a government auditor, not a private auditor. So credible there, a government agency pointing to discrepancies in the database of Ayushman Bharat scheme, and particularly Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana.